Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Star Leah here, and in today's video I want to show you all how you can travel through your school with study abroad with minimum expenses. Yes, that's right, minimum expenses. So I don't want to keep this intro long. Let's go ahead and jump into the video. So as some of you know, I did go on my own study abroad trip in May, and it was super fun. I went to Amsterdam and Paris, and it was pretty much a life-changing experience for me. Like I always love to travel, but I really enjoyed going out of the country and traveling. So what I did was I jotted down a few notes. Yes, I did. I have it all right here, and I pretty much listed out everything that I did to prepare for my trip. And this video is going to be tailored to the finances, because the finances is the most important part. So I'm not even gonna lie to you all, the process can be a little lengthy, but for specific reasons that I will go through as I'm listing out these things. So I'm about to go ahead and get started. So number one, because finances is like an important thing, you want to go ahead and start saving. Even if you're just a middle school student, high school student, even if you're in college right now. Most of us work while we're in college, so there are ways that we can begin to save our money. So about a year ago, I did a video on how to save money in college, and I will link that above for you all to go back and watch, because it is a really helpful video. It has helped me save a lot of money and also save money for my study abroad trip. So like I said, first of all, you want to save. And whenever I save, I like to think about, what exactly am I saving for? What do I want to do with this money? Do I have plans for this money? Sometimes it's just good to save in general and keep that money stored away just for a rainy day as your emergency fund or whatever. But for me, sometimes when I know it's something that I want to do, I need to know how much money exactly do I need to save, so I know, can I go and buy those shoes I want? Can I go and buy that shirt? So for me, I looked up how much it costs to apply. If you want to do study abroad through your school, I know at East Carolina University you have to pay an application fee. That application fee at ECU is $75. So hey, first of all, I need $75 to even put in an application to see, am I eligible to study abroad? Second, you need a deposit before you can commit to anything, or if they believe that you're making a commitment to study abroad, they want to see some money put down to show that you are committed to traveling, so that you're not taking anyone else's spot that can be going in that program. At ECU, I'm not for sure if the program deposits vary, but for most of the programs that I have seen and that I have researched, there is a deposit of $500. So off the bat, you need about $575 to even commit to doing a study abroad program. And if you are a working college student and your program isn't until a year or so or whatever, $575, it's a little steep for college students. I'm not even gonna lie about that. It is a little steep for college students, especially when you have books and other expenses to worry about. But if you're saving and following some of the saving tips that I gave in my video a year ago, you can pretty much reach that $575 amount pretty quickly if you're saving your money, especially because Christmas is coming up, and I know a lot of people get money for Christmas. So just think about that, especially money for school. Instead of buying all new clothes and school is about to start, you can save some of that money to put towards your deposit and your application fee. So number two, you need to find a program. Like I said before, when I save money, I like to figure out, how much do I need to do this? How much money do I need to do that? So once you find a program, you will see how much does the program actually cost. So you will know how much money you need to come up with. So you want to figure out what continent you want to go to, what country you want to go to, how long do you even want to be there. Longer programs do tend to be a little bit more expensive, and shorter programs are a bit less expensive, but from experience, shorter programs are very fast paced. Some nights you may not get enough sleep because you're trying to get everything that you can in the short amount of time that you're there, and you want to experience the day life, the night life, and compare the two, and overall just enjoy yourself. Whether you do a shorter program or longer program, I'm pretty sure you're still going to enjoy yourself, and you can say that, hey, I've been to this place, I've been to that place, I did this, I did that. For the experience, it's all still going to be fun. When you are looking for a program, you do want to be aware of the amount of credits that you already have, and also what requirements that you still may need. For instance, with the study abroad program that I did, it was an elective course for my program, and I am going to receive credit for doing that study abroad trip with the program. It's about 6 credits. The only thing about that is I am going into my senior year, and no one wants a tuition surcharge. A tuition surcharge means that you have went above the amount of credits you can take during your 4 years at the university or 5 years at the university, and then once you reach a certain limit or go over, they will make you pay about half price for other classes, whatever. So you just want to make sure, go talk to your advisor and see, hey, I'm thinking about doing this program, will it go towards my program, and how many credits do I have? You always want to be on top of that, because like I said, finances is a big key. It's a big key to life almost, but at college we all know finances are important. So once you figure out what program you want to participate in, it's a good idea to go ahead and meet and connect with the program leaders that will be leading the program. And I say this because your program leaders, especially if they have been doing the study abroad program for a length of time, they have a lot of knowledge, and they also can give you key to some of the scholarships that you can apply for that they're pretty much sure that you're able to receive. Now, scholarships are very important, and I'm gonna stress this, like, scholarships, like, we're gonna even write this up here. Scholarships are very important, and I say this because loans you have to pay back. Loans you have to pay back at some time. It's gonna be on your credit. Loans are going to be on your credit. Okay, are we all here? And I'm gonna tell you why scholarships are so important. Number one, I'm gonna say it again, you do not have to pay scholarship money back unless you do something you're not supposed to, like drop out of school, then they might try to take the money back. But scholarships are important, okay? And I'm gonna speak for myself, but I know a lot of other people feel this way. When I first started at ECU, I did have other outside scholarships prior to entering the university. I was not as driven to apply for certain scholarships through the university. And for me, in my head, I was like, oh, it's so many other people going to be applying for this scholarship. It's just going to be a waste of time. I'm just going to do all of this writing, submitting all of these essays, and I'm not even going to get the scholarship. You all, like, wholeheartedly don't think like that, because it's really not like that. This past year for my program at ECU, so many people didn't apply for scholarships because of everybody thinking the same way, or I'm not gonna get it, somebody else might have a higher GPA, or they're volunteering more than I am, they're probably gonna get it anyway, it's no need for me to do this or do that. This year I received an email, several emails actually, from a university and certain departments, pretty much encouraging people to apply for scholarships. And it just so happened during this time, while all of this chaos was going on, and I was getting several emails about, you know, apply for this scholarship and apply for that scholarship. I had a meeting with my advisor anyway about my minor and other things, and she pretty much was telling me, she was like, you know, your GPA is like pretty amazing and outstanding, and have you been applying for scholarships or anything? And I'm like, you know, I'm already ashamed. Like, I ain't been on my stuff trying to apply for scholarships. No, I'm out here struggling, and I ain't applied for no scholarships. So during that conversation, I was informed that the scholarship committee and the donors have actually been looking for people to give scholarships for, because nobody applied for scholarships. So pretty much all of this money is just sitting on the table, and no one was grabbing it, especially me. So I'm gonna took it upon myself, okay, let me go on this award portal, go ahead and redo my general application, because some scholarships, I know through ECU, they have ECU award. You complete a general application and some of the donors and the scholarship committee will actually just go through your general application information, look up your volunteer hours and look at your GPA, and they pretty much pick off of that. But with some, they do want you to write essays, and a lot of them are very short. You all, I received a scholarship and it was pretty much a letter. It wasn't even a full page, and I received a scholarship for pretty much writing about 2 paragraphs. 2 paragraphs. You all, it doesn't take that long. It really doesn't. And sometimes, like, I do get down on myself. I think about, oh my god, all of these years I could have been getting scholarships instead of taking out these loans that I'm going to have to pay back later. And that's going to stress me out even more when I'm looking at all these student loans that I got. But now that I know what I know, your girl already did her general application for this year. So just in case somebody want to drop a little coin on my account, it'll be there. Okay? So more of the story is, don't get in your head thinking that you may not get it. I mean, it's all worth a try. It's free money. And also, going back to scholarships and correlating that with study abroad, throughout my process, I have found that a lot of schools, and especially ECU, I do know this because I heard this from a lot of representatives from the study abroad and global and international studies and stuff, having as many students as you can at your university to go and study abroad is a plus for the university in itself. I mean, we all know that, and I'm gonna put this in here, college is a scam. And if you all want to have a whole another separate video about how college is a whole scam, we can do that, but I'm gonna stick to the study abroad thing. But it's about money, and it's always about numbers. If I could have this many kids go study abroad, if I could have this many professors that are researchers and actually have research now, it looks good for the university. It helps them bring in more revenue and more income, and it's just a better ordeal for, you know, people at the top. Okay, the people at the top. I had to emphasize that, the people at the top. So pretty much, more of the story is, no one that I came across throughout trying to prepare to study abroad was pretty much, I felt no one was turning me away. Everyone wanted to give me the information. They wanted to help me, provide me with resources. And especially a lot of people that I communicated with, they really targeted going to study abroad or going to a country for free. Sure, everybody has been in the financial aid office at some point during their college years or have negative experiences. I know, trust me, I know. But you are going to want to go to the financial aid office. And for me, I went to the financial aid office about 5 times because I wanted to make sure none of this information that you told me on this time was going to change. I need to ensure that I'm going to have this amount of money and this amount of money, because after you apply for your study abroad program, they are going to send you a whole list of documents, and some of those documents pretty much say that, hey, I'm going to pay this by this date, I'm going to have this by that date. Before you sign anything on the dotted line, and this for anything, before you sign your name on anything, you need to make sure that, as my grandma used to say, all your ducks are in a row. Okay? So in most of the documents, they pretty much said that, hey, I'm going to be responsible for paying this amount of money, I'm going to be responsible for paying that amount of money. So I took it upon myself to go to the financial aid office several times to make sure that the scholarships that I was receiving and the grant money that I was receiving was going to be what it needed to be for me to pay for my program. So once you go into the financial aid office, of course they ask for your ID number. For us, it's our banner ID number, and they can pretty much pull up all of your financial information. And having said that, they can estimate how much you will be receiving for, if you get Pell Grant, they'll tell you how much you'll get for Pell Grant. If you get loans, they'll tell you how much you can get for loans. They pretty much can tell you anything that you need to know by just going into their computer and tell you how much you are estimated to get for each thing. Like, you know, you have the subsidized, unsubsidized, Pell Grant, federal grant, supplemental grant, any of that. Once you go into the financial aid office, they also will recommend applying for Parent Plus loans if that's something that you and your parent decide to do. Parent Plus loans are credit based, and even if you don't get approved for the Parent Plus loans, from my understanding, the university will still award you. The university will still award you a subsidized or unsubsidized loan for the same amount that you applied for the Parent Plus loan. So say for instance you apply for a $5,000 Parent Plus loan, and your parent know that they probably won't get approved based on their credit score or their credit history, and they get denied, the school would then turn around in a few days and award you the same amount of money that your parent applied for, if that makes sense. I'm not for sure all the details when it comes into the Parent Plus loan, but if you go into the financial aid office, they will lay out all their information for you. All in all, it's just best to go to your financial aid office and communicate with them about what's on your account. No student's account is the same as the next, and everybody's financial situation is different, so you want to be sure to make sure you cover your bases by talking to people in the financial aid office. And it might also be beneficial to talk to different people, or if you have one person that you know have led you in the right direction ever since you've been in college, stick with that person, because it can, we all know, it can get very messy in the financial aid office. You have one person saying this, one person saying that, and you like just lost the deer in headlights. Like, I know neither one of y'all know at this point, because both of y'all done lied to me pretty much. But the Parent Plus loan is definitely an option. Like I said, if your parent doesn't get approved for the Parent Plus loan, then in a sense it's kind of like a plus for them because it ain't on their credit. And you can also get another subsidized or unsubsidized loan for the same amount basically. But you guys, like I said, scholarships are going to be a lifesaver, because we want to try to stay away from loans as much as possible, because like I said, we are going to have to pay those loans back. So really seriously, all in all, scholarships is the way to go. After you spend quite a bit of time in the financial aid office, you are going to want to continue saving money. And you all, scholarships and saving, this is like the whole video. So you want to continue saving, and I say this because we all know that whenever you're getting your loans for school, or if you're receiving Pell Grant, scholarship money, they come when the school released that money. For me, I recommend about $100 a day, because you're going to need to eat. You need to eat. You are going to want to buy souvenirs. You want to bring souvenirs back home for yourself. You might have some friends, family that you want to bring souvenirs back for, and transportation. So while I was in Europe, I did have to get on a train, get on the metro, and we actually took some lifts and taxis and stuff like that. Sometimes your program will reimburse you for some of those expenses when you get back, but that's not helping you while you're there. You are going to need spending money for those things. And food in Europe was a little bit more expensive than it was here, and I'm a vegetarian, and which is really ironic and weird that I was eating some meals that didn't even have meat on them, and they would cost them more than some of the meals that people were eating that had like a whole piece of meat on their plate. And for example, I had a veggie lasagna at a restaurant in Europe, and it was $16 for a veggie lasagna, but it was good and I paid for it because I had to eat. So I do recommend about $100 a day, and that is kind of on the high end, but I do know that once you travel and once you go out of the country, no one wants to be stressed about finances, or do I have enough money to last me for the next few days. So it's kind of as if I save enough money, I have some money to come back with for souvenirs. I had some euros I didn't keep any of my euro dollars, but I had euro coins that I came back with, and I was able to give people those as souvenirs. So that's a plus. But you do want to have spending money. I do know that some students were waiting on their financial aid to be released so that they could use that as spending money. I'm not for sure how that worked out, but so you definitely need to save for your spending money, because the money that you applied for your program, with whether you got Pell Grant, scholarship, loan money, or whatever, that's only going to defer the payments for the study abroad amount. So let's just say that your study abroad trip costs $5,000 and you receive a $3,000 scholarship. You're gonna have a $1,000 Pell Grant, and you're gonna do a $1,000 loan. Once they see that you're getting all of that, they would defer your payments. You would just I'm not for sure if you have to fill out a form to defer payments, but I know if you communicate with them and tell them, hey, I'm using this to do my study abroad program for first summer, second summer, 11-week summer, whatever. You just let them know that, hey, this is what I'm using to do my study abroad trip, and they'll pretty much put a check mark. Hey, this student has this money, and that'll be their first half of the payment. This student has this, and that's going to be their second half of the payment, and you're pretty much good to go. So your trip is paid for, but you still don't have money for some of your meals. So with the program I did, 2 of our meals were free and the rest were on our own. Airfare was included, and that's another tip that you all want to be mindful of. Some programs may appear cheaper than others because your airfare is not included, which means you have to pay for your own flight to get there. It's pretty much cheaper to have your airfare included in your program. And that's what I found. That was what mine was. My airfare was included with the money that I had for the program, if that makes sense. So pretty much you do need spending money. You're going to want to eat. You're going to want to buy souvenirs. You're going to want to hang out and do some excursions that isn't on the list. And I definitely did some things that wasn't on the list while I was away, because it's not included in the program. Most of the things that are included in your study abroad program are like sightseeing and tours and stuff, and a lot of us still want to get out and have fun and experience new things that, you know, you can't really do back home. So most definitely you want to save for spending money. And I do know that with study abroad programs, there's a lot of walking. You're going to be burning more calories. You're going to be more hungry than you normally are if you were back home just being a couch potato like me. So you are going to want spending money for food. Like, food was probably one of the most expensive costs. Just like I said, we only had 2 meals that was included in the program. And even with eating 3 meals a day, well, we normally ate breakfast at the hotel because that was, you know, pretty much included in our stay, which was a way for us to save money. But, you know, lunch and dinner, and then having desserts, you know, just walking my little shops and trying different desserts. There were a lot of desserts in Amsterdam. I didn't see that quite that many in Paris, but I actually enjoyed the food more in Amsterdam because they had like a lot of vegan and vegetarian places. Paris did as well, but it was a little bit more chill. I don't know. It was just different. But that's pretty much all I have for you guys. I hope you all enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Ever since I did my study abroad trip, I made a commitment to encouraging other students to do a study abroad trip while they're in college, and if not, do more than one. It's slightly late for me. I am going into my senior year, and I just discovered all of this information while being a junior, so I am at a slight disadvantage. But hey, I'm giving you all the information so that if you wish, you could do a study abroad trip all 4 years of your college if you're about to be an incoming freshman. So it's just amazing, you all. I have found that in college, some things aren't going to be answered for you. You have to go search for those answers yourself. And now that I discovered those answers, and I know that a lot of other students felt the same way that I did, that they couldn't afford it and it just wasn't in their list and their budget to do this, I have found ways that I could do it, and I have made a commitment to share all of that information with other students, because a lot of students don't get the chance to study abroad, and I want more people to get the same experience I did. But I hate how some schools and universities don't provide their students with all of the information. It's kind of like, I don't know, like, You mean to tell me I could have been studying abroad my whole time in college, but you never told me? I had to go figure this out myself. But that's okay, because I'm sharing all this information with you all. I'll see you all in my next video. See ya.